guys, it's Xiao. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is a very interesting DIY Halloween costumes. So when I was brainstorming on what type of Halloween costumes to film, it just came to me that since I love planner and anything stationery related, that I would make those type of costumes. So I came up with these really interesting Halloween costumes. So I hope you guys enjoy them because I think they turned out really cool actually. And let's get right into it.
So we're gonna start this off with a DIY page flag costume. So you'll need a trifold board. I got this for only $1 at the Dollar Tree. You can use a regular cardboard, but this one just makes it a lot easier. You also need a big piece of white poster. I got this for 50 cents. Also, you need a piece of blue paper, a pair of scissors, double-sided tape or glue, ribbon, a gold metallic marker, and then paint. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and cut off one of those flaps from the trifold board. So it should look something like this, and this is going to be our packaging for our page flags. Moving on, I trace rounded corners on the top left and bottom right of my blue piece of paper. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut where I traced those lines. So this piece of paper actually turned out to be a little bit thicker than I wanted to, so I took my paper cutter and just cut it down so it was a little bit skinnier, and then I went ahead and rounded that bottom right corner as well, and this is what it should look like. Next, I'm just going to take my pencil and try to copy that same pattern from that label on that packaging, and then next we can go ahead and go in with our gold metallic marker. I'm going to let you guys watch this part because I find it very satisfying to watch. Alright guys, can we just take a moment to appreciate how pretty this looks? I love the way it turned out, and I like how it looks kind of like fake gold foiled as well. Anyways, moving on, next you just want to glue or tape that label onto the right side of that bottom flap so it looks like the packaging. Next, taking the white poster, I went ahead off camera and I trimmed it down so that it left at least an inch around the perimeter so that you still want your packaging to kind of show around the edges. After trimming, I divided my poster into 5 equal sections. So my poster just happened to be 25 inches. So what I did was I measured every 5 inches and I cut that out. And then the first piece I use as a template just to continue on until you're left with 5 equal pieces of poster like this. And these are going to be our quote-unquote page flags. Next, I'm going to cut out a small triangle from one end of each sheet so that they will look like page flags. Just continue to do this with the rest of the sheets until you're left with something like this. Alright, for the funnest part of this DIY, in my opinion, you just want to go ahead and copy the pattern of your page flags that you have chosen and try to make them look as similar as possible. So for mine, I'm just going to start off with by painting on the base coats and letting them dry because that's going to take the longest. So my base coats are pink, coral, green, and blue. And then for my middle page flag, I'm just going to take this gold paint and copy the grid type of pattern by drawing vertical and horizontal lines. And then once the other page flag base coats have dried, I'm going to take a white and go onto the pink and red page flags and draw lines on them to make them look like the real page flags. And then for the green and blue page flags, I'm just going to make circles with my paintbrush to make a polka dot type of pattern. And then before I can start gluing my page flags down, I'm going to poke 2 holes at the top of my board so that we can insert ribbon into them in order to wear it around our neck as a costume. So once your ribbons have been inserted, you just want to tie knots in the back so that it will prevent the ribbon from going through the hole again, of course. And then next, I'm just going to lay out my page flags in the proper order, and then we're just going to go ahead and glue them on. Here, I'm just taking some Mod Podge, which makes it a lot easier than using double-sided tape, so that is what I would recommend. And this is the finished DIY. I really loved the way that it turned out, and I think it looks exactly like the page flag. So you can keep the flap open like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just staple it down just because I don't really care for the flap to be open, but totally up to you. This is the finished DIY page flag costume. I really love the way that it turned out, and it looks exactly like the Target page flags. Up Up next is my favorite DIY washi tape costume. So for this DIY, you'll need at least 2 cardboard boxes. You can go ahead and buy poster boards, or you can do what I did and go to the Dollar Tree and ask the workers for some of their unwanted photo boxes. You will also need at least 2 pieces of white poster board. Please keep in mind that the amount of cardboard and poster that you will need will depend on your body. You also need some paint, packaging tape, ribbon, a pair of scissors, box cutter, and a measuring tape. So to begin, I'm just taking my pencil and tracing a circle or an oval, trying to get as close to the edge of the box border as possible. You want to make sure that when you cut out this piece, the whole board will be intact. I also traced a smaller circle or oval within that, and this is where I will be fitting into it. So once they're all cut out, they should look something like this. They should look kind of like toilet seats, and you should have at least 4 of these. Next, taking the white poster board, I'm going to fold and unfold it in half the long way, and then fold each side down to meet in the middle so that you're left with 4 equal sections like so. Next, you just want to go ahead and cut on those lines, and you should be left with strips like these. The number of strips that you will need is, again, like I stated, dependent on your body. So in order to measure that, I'm going to measure the circumference of the outer edge of my cutout circles. Then I'm just going to measure my strips to make sure that it matches. You'll want to add at least 2 to 3 inches onto the strips so that we can overlap and tape them together later. So for me, I needed 2 full strips and about half of a third strip per washi tape roll. Next is my favorite part, which is painting on your washi tape pattern. I found this really pretty floral washi tape in my collection that I wanted to replicate, but you can definitely just create your own design. And here is just a quick time lapse of me painting on that washi tape pattern. This is my first time doing any type of floral design. Man, I was kind of impressed. Even though it looks pretty messy, it still turned out really pretty. So you want to repeat the same pattern onto all of your strips per washi tape roll. So all of your strips per washi tape roll should have the same pattern like this one. And then for my second washi tape, I decided to just keep it simple and just did a kind of like light green washi tape. Next, you just want to tape your strips all together, so all 3 pieces or 4 pieces depending on how many strips you have, and then you should be left with a very long quote-unquote washi tape. Next, taking one end of your washi tape, you just want to tape it onto the outer edge of that cutout circle and just repeat this and go around until you meet where you started, and then just tape those parts together. Next, you want to flip that upside down and take that other cutout circle and put that right on top. You want to make sure that the cutouts in the inside are aligned, and then just repeat the same steps and tape that washi tape onto that cutout circle. So this is what your washi tape should look like. I did go ahead and make a second one with that green pattern. Next, we're going to poke some holes on each side like so. You want to poke them on the top and the bottom. This is where we're going to be inserting our ribbon through so that we can wear it. So you want to do the same with your washi tape. You want to make sure that the holes are aligned. And then here, I'm just going to take my ribbon through each hole from each side. So as you can see, I'm going through the first or top washi tape, and then we're going to go through the bottom washi tape until you get to the bottom. So when I reach the bottom, I'm just going to loop it over and out again, and then I'm just going to go back under and tie it. So any way that you can to secure it, go ahead and do your thing. So here I'm just tying like a double knot at the bottom, and then you just want to go ahead and repeat the same steps to the other side. Of course, before you secure it at the bottom, you want to try it on. Make sure that your strap here is long enough to fit around your neck. This is the finished look of our DIY washi tape Halloween costume. I really like this one, and it turned out exactly how I pictured it in my head, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So that is it for my DIY Halloween costumes for the planner and stationery lovers like myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!